Uncletale proudly presents the seed of honesty. Once upon a time in a peaceful kingdom, there lived a wise and just king. The people loved him dearly, but the king had no child to inherit the throne. As he grew older, the king decided to choose his successor, not by bloodline, but by virtue. He announced to the entire kingdom that every child would receive a special seed. Plant this seed, he said, and return in 1 year. I will choose the next ruler based on what I see. This surprising announcement sparked excitement, curiosity throughout the land. In a small village far from the palace lived a humble boy named Lin. He was kind, honest, and always tried his best in everything he did. When Lin received the seed from the king, he hurried home, eager to begin. He found an old clay pot, filled it with soil, and gently placed the seed inside. Every day, he watered it and placed it in the sunlight, watching with hope. The days passed, weeks passed, and no time, a single sprout appeared. Worried, Lin changed the soil, tried different pots, moved it to warmer light, but still, the seed never grew. A year later, the children were summoned back to the palace to present their plants. Many arrived with vibrant flowers, towering stalks, and colorful fruits. Their pots were full of life. Lin, however, held only an empty pot. Embarrassed but determined to be truthful, he decided not to replace the seed or fake a plant. He would present it just as it was. He walked into the palace, his head slightly lowered, holding the bare pot firmly in his hands. As the other children saw Lin's pot, some began to giggle. Did you forget to plant it? Maybe he was too lazy to water it. That's just a pot of dirt. Though he felt a sting of shame, Lin answered quietly but firmly. I tried my best. I planted the seed, watered it every day, and cared for it. But nothing ever grew. The whispers faded as his voice reached the ears of the king, who had been watching silently. The king stood and walked among the children. Observing each pot, he paused in front of Lin's empty one. Then he turned to the room and spoke with a strong voice. This boy is the only one who told the truth. Gasps echoed through the hall. The seed I gave each of you had been boiled. It was impossible to grow anything from it. Yet all of you brought me plants. Plants that could only have come from different seeds. The king's gaze swept the room. Only Lin was honest enough to admit that nothing grew. He chose truth over pride. That is the kind of person who deserves to lead. Silence fell over the room before it burst into applause. The king smiled and placed a hand on Lin's shoulder. From this day forward, Lin shall be my heir. Though he brought only an empty pot, Lin had shown the one thing more valuable than any treasure: honesty. As the years passed, Lin grew into a wise and just ruler, beloved by all. Under his reign, the kingdom flourished in both peace and virtue. Honesty may not always bring quick rewards, but it builds a foundation stronger than lies ever could. Be brave enough to tell the truth, even when no one else does.